In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this trending rose design that has a bias in between. If this is your first time, you're welcome to this channel. My name is Justina and this is day 27 of our 30 days sew with Tia sewing challenge. Thank you so much for engaging my previous video. Your likes, your share, comments, they mean a lot to me. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this video. Here are the materials I'm going to be using a sleeve pattern that I already have. I'll be leaving a link in the tutorial on how you can draft this. Also, you'll be needing your fabric. My fabric is on fold because you're going to be needing two piece for this. One will serve as the lining, okay? And also I'm going to be making use of this bias strip I have here, which is about 1 inch. Now note this bias strip was cut on bias. It was cut on bias, not just a straight rectangular strip, okay? So now I've gone ahead to iron out this fabric, okay, to give me my midpoint. So I'm going to be cutting this in form of a flounce. I have a video where I taught on how you can draft a flounce, okay. I will leaving that also in the description box. So what I'm basically doing now is from my midpoint I'm going to measure 1 inch round. As you can see, I'm going to measure 1 inch round, and this 1 inch is what I'm going to use to make a circle. So I'm going to be using this 1 inch to make a circle, as you can see. Now, after making that circle, I'm going to go ahead to make a cross sign, okay, just a cross sign. And this cross sign is just to help me know the point where I'm going to begin. So I've labeled that point A and B. So I'm going to go ahead to insert my flounce width, the width I want for this rose design. We're going to be using two different widths, okay. I'm making use of 2 inches. I've imputed that on B. So I just went ahead from the circle point in A and made a curve to B. So from that B point now, I'm going to go ahead to mark 2 inches round the circle. And when I get to that A point back now, I'm going to be increasing my flounce width, okay. I'm making use of different width for this particular rose design. So I've gone ahead to connect the 2 inches width points. So when I got to that A, I increased this to 3 inches. So and that is why you can see that particular curve looking like that at that point of B. So I just went ahead to mark out 3 inches like so till I get to the end of this particular fabric. So I'm going to go ahead to connect this point together, as you can see me do. Now do note that if you want your rows to be really full and you want more layers, go ahead to increase this size. I did not use any particular measurement, okay. I just went ahead to draft on this particular fabric, okay. So after doing this, I'm going to go ahead to cut, as you can see me do. So I'm going to go ahead to cut. So once I got to that point where I have my circle, I'm going to go ahead to trim that point because I'm not going to be needing it again. So this is what these points look like. And remember I said my fabric was on fold, so I have two pieces for this particular part. So now I'm here with my bias. The next thing I'm going to do, so what I'm doing here is to create a kind of sandwich the bias in between the two layers. So, but the first thing I'm going to do is to go ahead for the bias, as you can see me do. Then I'm going to be stitching on the first piece. That is the main piece of this particular fabric, okay. So I went ahead to stitch like so. You can see I stitched toward the inward part, okay, toward the inward part, not outward. So after doing that, now the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead to layer this lining piece. The other piece is still the same fabric. I'm going to go ahead to layer that part. Then I'm going to be trimming the edge, as you can see. That is the edge width, the lower width. I'm going to go ahead to trim that part, as you can see me do. Then I'm going to go ahead to stitch that end together. Now you can see that I have both layers. So now what I'm going to do now is to stitch very close to the line that I already have. Now that line I have that was used to hold the bias down on the first fabric, I'm going to be stitching with the second layer underneath. I'm going to be stitching very close to that line. So this is what I mean. So you can see I'm not stitching on that first line, I'm stitching very close to that first line to ensure that the bias strip is properly secured and sandwiched in between those layers. So I'm done doing that, and this is what it's looking like when I'm done. I've gone ahead to trim out the excess I don't need again, and I'm just going to go ahead to notch, as you can see, so that this can slip, can sit well. So when I'm done, I went ahead to open it up. As you can see, the bias strip has been sandwiched in between these layers. I've also gone ahead to secure both ends. So after doing this, after turning this, you can go ahead to press this down so that you can have a neat finish. So you can see that even without doing anything, it's beginning to give that rose design. So the next thing we're going to do from this point now is to go ahead to create a gather stitch, that is a loose stitch, okay, on this open end. And I've gone ahead to do my, so this is what my stitch look like. You can go ahead to do 2 or 3 more stitch, but I'm just going to be doing one for this tutorial purpose. So all you need to do is to go ahead to pull this, keep pulling till you get to the end. I've gone ahead to pull my off camera, and this is what it looks like. Okay, you can see that it looks way smaller than the initial length. So all you are going to do from this point now is to go ahead and start folding to give your rose design. Now, when you are folding, ensure you have the part with the rough end, the part with the raw edge. Ensure you are able to hold it together because we are going to be using a needle and a thread to secure that point together. So you can see what I'm doing as you are folding to give your rose design. Ensure you are able to hold that open end. Okay, do not let it slip out of your hand. So you can see the way I'm doing my, and just go ahead to arrange this particular design, this particular rose as you want. So this is what the open end looked like when I was done arranging it. And from this point now, I have my needle and my thread, okay? I'm going to go ahead to put this very close to the end and bring it from the other side. Then I will tighten the stitch, okay? Now, I'm not even going to lie to you. This particular part, probably because I made use of a cotton fabric, it was actually hard. Okay, my needle, I had to push my needle like with something for it to go through the parts. So you can take it bit by bit in layers till you get to the end. Okay, so I just went ahead to secure that. And after securing it on the end, I also knot my needle. Then I went from the inside, as you can see, from the out, I came inside. Then I kept on doing this for about 4 to 5 times so that my rose will be properly secured. And this is not going to pull out irrespective of whatever happens. So after doing this is what my rose design look like. So I've gone ahead to secure the end so you can see it is sitting on its own. So from this point now, you can go ahead to cut a strip of fabric, as you can see, sew it on the inside, turn it out, and use it to secure or cover your raw edges. Okay, now this is our sleeve. You have to determine where you want to fix your rose design. Okay, but based on the inspiration, this was fixed very close to the hem of the sleeve. So I've gone ahead to fold in the hem. Please leave out your sleeve joining allowance. Don't put your rose design on it because when you want to join your sleeve you might have issues. So this is me. I'm just going to be using the center part of this sleeve for tutorial purpose. So let's assume this is the point I want to fix my rose design. I'm going to go ahead to note it this way. Then all I need to do now is to go ahead with my needle and thread, and I'm just going to tag this rose design to it. Now it is not compulsory you make use of a needle and a thread. You can as well make use of a gum, any gum, probably your glue gun or any fashion gum. You can make use of a gum and ensure that this is properly secure. But professionally, I advise you hand stitch with your hand, yes, in order for you to be able to control the fit, and at the same time you are going to be 100% sure that this is perfectly secured. So after doing that, I've gone ahead to secure it on both points, the upper part and the lower part. This is what the rose design look like. So I can go ahead to make two other rose design, then place it on the other side in order to have the full inspiration that was posted earlier. Then you can go ahead to sew in your sleeve sewing allowance on the side, and that is all to this tutorial. I hope you got value from this video. If you do, please don't forget to like this video, comment on this video, and also turn on your notification bell so that when I post video you get to see them. Thank